streamers. We've got capture cards, all the capture cards in the world. Lots and lots of capture cards. So today, in an effort to prepare for my capture card breakdown video that's coming, we are going to play today. Today is a testing stream. I guarantee you it's not going to be smooth, but we're going to have fun. You can see right here the Abby cam, which I cheated and pulled out one of the capture cards already. This one is looking pretty good, I gotta say. We'll get into which one that is. But you'll see a lot of Abby today because that's the camera that we're gonna test these capture cards on. It is the Sony a5100. So I have a whole bunch of capture cards I bought. Well, I already have a ton of capture cards, but I also bought a bunch to test today to see what we think about the colors. And honestly, I haven't, outside of the one that you just saw, I haven't plugged any of them in because I wanted to do this testing and playing with you. So we are going to have fun today. Honestly, so the video that I'm putting together will have a lot of side-by-sides so you can compare in a better way. However, today I am short some cables. 2 cables went bad on me today as I was preparing and setting up. Actually, one of them I think was already bad and I failed to throw it away. And then I forgot that it was bad. So always, pro tip, throw away your bad cables. Like, there's no reason to keep them around. I kind of put it off to the side thinking I would test it some more just to make sure it was bad before I threw it away. But I knew it was bad. Let's be honest. I should have just thrown it away. But then another cable went bad on me today as well as I was setting up. So I'm short on cables. So we won't be able to do lots of side-by-side, but I promise you that will come in a video. However, we are going to just go one by one and look at the differences, right? So this is the A6100. I am using the oh, here. I have a video. Hold on. I have a Stream Deck key for that. All right. So this is the HD60S Plus that you're looking at on this main camera. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to have to get some light blocking curtains. Unfortunately, I'm trying a couple of different things that I have creative ideas around. I have lots of light that's coming in all of a sudden now that we're starting to go into spring. And so I know that this summer is actually going to be a little harsh for me. So I'm going to have to fix this light coming into my place. Unfortunately, I did try. I put some indie filter over here. That's not doing so much. But anyway, so that main camera is the HD60S Plus. I also have, of course, this camera right now is on the Aja UTAP. And I gotta be honest, the Aja UTAPs have been hit or miss for me. Sometimes they do freeze up, so I'm not loving those. This Abby cam, fail. This Abby cam is the Sony a5100, and right now the capture card that is plugged into it is, it's Mira box is what's showing up on the eCam interface, Mira box, but it looks like this. So it says HD video capture USB 3. That's how you find it. That's what the name is on just in the description. And so it looks like this. You can get it in red. I thought about red, but then it was like $10 extra, and since I was buying a whole bunch of capture cards, I was like, I don't need red. This functions like the HD60S Plus from Elgato that I love, where you actually do have an out that you can use for monitoring and things like that. So you don't necessarily need that port right here to get this basic functionality. So that's the one you're seeing right here. And actually let me go side by side here so at least you can see. And if you do have questions, ideas, thoughts, please do. Now, of course, we've got a lot of red in that shot. Abby, hi. You want to say hi to the people? Can I turn you around? Oh, hi. Isn't she cute? So that's this one, the HD video capture. What say you guys? This is a party test where you guys get to have a say in what you think looks good and not so great. Let's see. We have a question. Can you make sure to compare the A10 Mini as well? Yeah, I have that. I could pull that out right now, actually. Abby, where are you going? No, don't go anywhere, please. You're my model for today. Don't bury yourself. Don't go anywhere. Actually, I can go grab that for sure. Okay, I did not set my, hold on. I'm gonna set, I told you this was gonna be like a little awkward of a video, right? So I gotta copy, I set up a new profile on my Stream Deck. So I'm just gonna fix some things. Here, come on, move for me. There you go. There you go. You're working now. All right. So now I can remove that comment. Okay. Yeah, that I can get behind. That one I can get behind. Okay, let me scroll up and see what kind of comments. I noticed the colors and contrast differ between different capture cards, so side by side is awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do a little side by side today, but in the video that I'm going to be recording about all of this after we test and put all of these to the, you know, put them out and see what they do. That video will have a lot of side by side, but this we're going to get like 2, right? I could do 3. I could do 3 here. We've got 3 side by side. So this is this one right here is the Aja UTAP. This one, and of course in the video recording, like I'll be doing comparisons against the same, you know, camera too, right? So we've got 3 different cameras here, which is going to skew the results here, but we can still get a good idea. Okay, so let me actually, would you guys like, I know I should have thrown the cable away, right? Tip 1, always throw away bad cables. Never throw away good cables. Smart people in the audience right now. Let's see. I'm just looking for comments right here. And then what I'm going to do is, would you like me to put the capture card on a text here? Well, she's being a little misbehaved. She's misbehaving like right now. What is the best capture card for a new venture? So currently, Board Game Nation, and by the way, I know that you're new. Thank you for being here. Currently, my favorite capture card is either the Camlink 4K, which I also have here. Hold on. I forgot to bring that over. Hold on. Let me grab that. Hi, Ebs. Doing good. Okay, so Camlink 4K is a fantastic option, or the HD 60S Plus, which is the one I use on a consistent basis. So I like these. And I know that you're new. Thank you for being here. Like, continue to ask questions. Today we're kind of focused on capture cards, right? But we do lots of streams and open Q&As as well. How do we bring in Abby to our interview mode? Oh, maybe that's a service. Maybe that's like a something that I can offer. Oh, she's chewing her feet because she can. Okay. Only empty on this particular profile on my Stream Deck keys. I just set up a new one for this particular case. Okay, so we've got, I'm gonna add what I told you guys I would do here. Abby, where'd you go? You're my model. No. Come on, Abs. No. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Just bear with me a little bit longer here. There you go. Thank you. Oh, I'll pay you later. Okay, I'll pay you later in treats. Okay, hold on. I am adding text overlays right now. Oh, I gotta find my keyboard over here. Okay. We're gonna do, this is the HD 60S Plus. And by the way, Ken, did that? Okay. So this one right here, my super chat overlay. Okay, super chat overlay is going away for a second. All right, we're gonna do this. And then we're gonna add another one. Overlays, new text overlay. And this one is the HDMI video capture. I'm pretty sure I'm not using the right text font for Paul, but we're gonna go with it anyway. And this is the one on the left here that's going to change over and over as we do this comparison. All right. And then the final one is the Aja UTAP. All right. Here we go. Okay, it doesn't look great, but that's okay. And then now I can activate the super chat. Thank you so much, CK, for the super chat. She's like, I did not want to be here. Okay, I didn't want to be here. All right. So next, what we're doing.
Hooray!
Woohoo! Wait, that's the wrong super chat. That is so the wrong super chat right now. What? Why is that one active? That's not even active. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. We should have the big super chat now. Okay. So that's what you got on this particular capture card. Again, the HDMI video capture card. It looks like this, and that is linked to in the description. And it looks like this in reality. So it's nice. It's already starting to get warm. But, you know, all capture cards can get a bit warm. I've noticed that. It comes into Ecamm as the Mira box. They don't say that anywhere on the Amazon description, Mira box, but that's how it's reading on Ecamm right now. I use a budget HDMI capture card. Hold on. This full screen super chat gets in the way sometimes. And it's 30 frames, it's 60 frames worth upgrading to. So 60 frames, it's a personal preference. Like, so 60 frames per second is a personal preference. I think it adds a bit of an oomph to your video. And so I definitely notice a difference when I'm on 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second, in terms of what the audience says, like, ooh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty, you know? Let's see. Do some capture cards work only with HDMI or some have USB ports? So you're gonna have HDMI coming out of your camera and USB into your computer. So that's the combo. So you've got both HDMI coming out from the camera. Depending on your camera, you might need a micro HDMI, mini HDMI, or full HDMI, but that depends on your camera. And then you're bringing that into the capture card. I should have set the stage here in terms of what capture cards do. They allow you to bring in your camera, your mirrorless camera DSLR into your computer, into your software, so that it is it's readable as a USB camera, right? So your software, your computer wants to be able to see that information. Okay, so let's move on to a different one. So this is the HDMI video capture. Now this one is 16 bucks, guys. Now I know some people who are actually using this one successfully. Okay, D. Nimmin specifically has been doing a really good job at has not really good job. It's just he's had success with the HDMI video capture, right? And so this, hold on, I'm trying to get it in the frame here. But here's also the key. I also know people who actually have had it kind of fail midstream. So when you go for a $16 option, one, I anticipate the colors on this one are going to be not so great. But you also are opening yourself up to more potential failures when you are live, right? So this one, we're gonna plug this one in now and change out this camera here. So you're gonna lose Abby for a sec. Bye, Abs. All right. And then we're just gonna plug this straight in, okay, to USB 3. Wait for it. All right. And here we go. Whoops, hold on. We're gonna go this one, then that one. And now I have to change this text to, oh, seriously? Oh wait, hold on guys. I'm so sorry. The one before was HD video capture. Okay, HD video capture. This one is the HDMI video capture. I forgot they were so similar, so I apologize for that. So this one now is the HDMI video capture. And if we just go full screen to that one, I'm leaving the text on screen. Do you guys see much difference? So, you know, it's still popping with the colors. It's better quality than I thought or anticipated. But what say y'all? Let's see. Questions coming. Abby, hey, move around a little bit. Abby. She's like, I'm done with you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, I gotta change this out. Okay. So there we go. That's the HDMI video capture. And honestly, it's a $17 capture card. Again, I really don't want y'all to, I don't want you to get too excited, because I bet, and this is part of the test that I'll be doing as I, look at the mess here. This is a part of the test that I'll be doing as I prepare this video, leaving it on for a while, right? So sometimes capture cards, they fail a while in. So it might take them 20, it might take them 45 minutes to fail or to stall, and you have to reset them. So the coloring on this isn't so bad. Long-term reliability is hard to test unless you just use it constantly and consistently, and that's what I will be doing for the purposes of this video coming up. That's why we're in test mode right now. I work on my time. Exactly. 1000%. She definitely has her own. She is breathing. Does that work when importing into a MacBook? What do you mean? So I guess I'm not sure what your question is in terms of the MacBook. You can use capture cards. Yes, like the whole purpose is bringing them into USB in your computer, whether that's a PC or a Mac. So yes, it will work for your MacBook. In terms of your MacBook, you need to decide whether you have a good enough MacBook. Like what Mac do you have? Is it going to perform your live stream well? That's the question that you need to figure out. But also you kind of have to figure out like that by testing, right? Okay, let's see. An app for what? So glad you're covering this. I often wondered what the difference is between $20 and much more expensive one. And oftentimes that's coloring. I'm surprised that this color is actually looking better than it looks better than I anticipated. Do the cameras put different loads on the capture cards as well? Do you mean in terms of like one camera being better for capture cards than the other? Not really. I mean, all of the factors that go into your tech chain are going to be what's good or what helps your video perform in terms of quality, better or worse, right? Okay, so let's change out the HDMI video capture. So again, that was a tiny little like $17 one, right? So that was this one that we just finished testing. Come on, focus. There we go. HDMI video capture, $17, $17 device. And so you can see you have the USB and you have the HDMI on that end. This, I am not claiming, even though it looked pretty good, I am not claiming that it's the right way to go. None of these, I am not suggesting anything other than the Cam Link right now and the HD60S Plus. Those are the two I recommend. However, I'm going to put these through long-term testing because that's how you know whether they're good or not. I have the HDMI video capture, Modern Picasso. Modern Picasso, I'd be curious, how often are you using that? Is it performing well? If you have any of these, let me know for sure. Yes, great question, board game. Sorry, no question is silly around here. No question is bad. That is what I'm here for, to help you grow in your live streaming journey. So yes, you do need a capture card per camera, okay? I'm looking at streaming tabletop gaming. I will need to be able to switch angles like you are now. Okay, so yeah, what you're gonna need is a capture card per camera. Now here's the caveat. There are some cameras, Canon just released new software for this, and Sony's, like there are a bunch of different cameras that potentially work via USB directly without a capture card needed. If you do that, you're going to lose a little bit of quality, but that's if you can't afford all the capture cards for like 5 different cameras that you're bringing in, right? Then you could at least get started via USB if your camera works as a USB camera. And you only know that by either looking at if you're using Ecamm. I don't know if you're on PC or Mac. Okay. So if you're wanting to switch and stuff like I am, you're gonna need to go software on your computer. Switcher Studio is a good option for phone switching between different cameras, but you have to have multiple phones, not cameras. And then also the other thing that you need to think about is the fact that, I'm just gonna take this off, but the other thing that you need to think about is the, yeah, you want to go. Sorry, I forgot where I was. I forgot what I was saying there for a second. Okay, so you have a MacBook Pro. Ecamm, that's what I use. Ecamm, Stream Deck, and we have lots of videos where we cover how to do all of that. I have a free training series for Ecamm specifically. So livestreamingpros.com/Ecamm if you want to get started there. Free trial for you as well. Okay, so Mechanically Dev says I have 2 HDMI video capture cards. Whoops. Have been using them for a few months, no problems, other than the color can fix with LUTs though. That's a good point, right? So is the color just kind of muted? That's what I would assume. Yeah, so board game, you know, like if you have trouble, just browse around our YouTube channel. You're gonna find a lot there, but also if you need something specific, that's why we're here. Just ask away. Okay, Magewell. Now, this is one of the more expensive ones. Some people swear by it. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's the question, right? It's like, do you really have to spend that much? Do you really gotta spend that much? That's what we're gonna be answering, not necessarily today in this video, in this stream, but in the video that I have coming up. I will be answering that question. Do you really have to spend that much? But some people swear by the Magewells. You know, I've used them in the past. They're fine. They have failed like the AJU taps as well, so that's something to consider. So here's I'm going to change out the Magewell. All right, and then add in these. Honestly, I'm not really seeing, are you guys seeing, question? You seeing much difference in terms of coloring and quality between these different ones? The image is soft, yeah, I see that. It is definitely softer than, yeah, okay, let's look at this. So this one versus, hold on, hang tight for me. I'm gonna move to this camera well, actually, let me just go to this camera real quick as I switch this out. Again, coming to the other one that we had before. Okay, so this was the HD video capture. Now we're gonna look at Abby. So yeah, sharper for sure, right? So again, we're going to swap this out. Looks a bit darker. So this is the other one. So then we'll go back to the Magewell. And again, I can actually do this a lot more efficiently side by sides when I produce this video. But again, going to the Magewell here. There, yeah. So with the dark fur and dark blanket, it's not as easy to tell, but you can use, what I'm looking at is the white, right? So, okay, here's an interesting one to look out for, UVC capture. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to look that one up. Was that a Chihuahua? Why, yes, that's a Chihuahua. The Magewell supposedly does a lot of the scaling and encoding on the card, so it could potentially take a load off your computer. Let's see. Okay, so there's the, wait for it. Yeah, and I can just adjust these cameras, right? So like, we can look at my plant, right? Do you want to look at the plant instead of Abby? We've got some more light there. You can see my my mess of cables. Okay, so we'll do that, and then let me switch that back out. So that's the Magewell, and we're going to the other one. Are you guys having fun? Are you having any fun at all? Wait, here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see these side by side to really pinpoint some differences. Oh no, that's not a green screen. No, not a green screen. That's funny. Yeah, $230 for your Elgato. Wow, that's a lot. You did you probably paid ugh, why isn't that working? Wait. You probably paid 2020 prices when everything was a lot more expensive and everybody was ripping people off. All right, next one up. Next one up is this, the Pango. Now, this one is, I have seen this one in action with other people's streams, and I honestly wasn't a big fan of how that one turned out. So let's open this one up. Oh my God, John, I was doing that same thing earlier with my ISO. I was like, in my group coaching call in Streamer Accelerator, I was like, A or B, 1 or 2. And then we would choose, and then we go, B or C, B or C, right? It's quite fun to do that. I like watching your desk get messier. Yeah, I don't. All right, let's go to the BTS camera here. Why aren't you working? Come on, Stream Deck. Come on. Okay, so here's the Pango. Pango in action. Ugh, I don't want to rip everything apart here. I'm going to be returning some of these things. Definitely going to be returning some. Okay, I'm going to use this little adapter because it's easier for me to get into a full USB port here. I know, Sammy. Stream Deck, come on. Now, come on. Okay, so this is coming out of the camera. All right, Pango being plugged in now. Ugh. Oh my gosh. All of the things. So messy right now. So freaking messy. Okay, so are you ready to go there? There we go. This is the Pango. I'm going to get rid of these now because that's not looking. Yeah, see, I don't like, the Pango looks a lot fuzzier to me. It doesn't look as high quality. What do you guys think? The Pango. Let me just double check that one. I'm gonna come back on screen here. Some people like coming in, they're like, why am I watching a plant on a live stream? Okay, the Magewell is 300. The Pango is 85. 85 US. I just don't think it is as good of quality. Let's not show too much here. Here, abs. Yeah. There we go. Back to the plant. All right. Let's see. I'd be so tempted to plug them all in at once. I am, and that's what I know. I wanted to. That was the plan today. However, I wound up with bad cables. So the cam link should be 150. This cam link should be 150. Or yeah, 100. Hold on. Let me just double check that. I don't know, the cam link is even, we should have all of the links in the description. 106. So the cam link is 106. The HD 60S Plus, this one is about 150. It can be a pain in the butt because it hogs bandwidth. Okay, A10 mini. Okay, coming. I didn't pull the A10 mini. Just patience, my dear. Patience. We've got some other little ones to do first. This is another little cheap one, the Fox Novo, and this one is $15 as well. Wait, hold on. What was the other one? Yeah, okay. So I got two that were like in the $15 range. So the other one is $16. This one that we did earlier. And then, oh, I need a manicure. And then this one is $15. So let's open that baby up. Okay. I hope I'm keeping everything together. Like when I send everything back, I don't know if I'm doing a very good job at that. The HD 60S Plus is $191. It shouldn't. When I bought it, it was $150. It might have. I might just still be out of, stock, and harder to get. So my camera is set to 1080 at the moment, Christopher. I actually started. That's why we had a description issue. I started in 4K. Okay, swapping out. Here we go. That stays with that. Yep, Pango with that. Okay, there we go. We're going to plug the HDMI into this one. I always get it wrong. How often do you put the cable into the port the right way the first time? Can I please get a little like sympathy here? I want to know if you guys are as bad at it as I am. Of course, I don't look. I just like try to plug it in. I don't look, but I don't know. I mean, come on. I do remember years ago they were looking at like universal. They were looking at uh-oh. Really? Uh-oh. Can y'all still hear me? Whoa. Uh-oh. Can you still hear me? Is my mouse working? Did I freeze entirely? No. Wait, hold on. Okay, you can hear me. At least it's not the worst face in the world. Okay. Actually, that froze my computer the moment my mouse doesn't work at all. Nope, frozen. Frozen. Whoa, the Fox Novo killed my computer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, everything is frozen on my entire computer at the moment. So this may be the end of this test. I'm going to wait a second. Sometimes title this still. Not clip it, title this still. So sometimes when your capture card does kind of do this to you, you actually you actually can just wait a little bit and it'll fix itself. So I'm going to wait just a minute to see if my computer unfreezes and then the capture card. But so far, nothing. The one I plugged in that killed my computer is the Fox Novo. So at this point, I'm saying stay away from the Fox Novo. This is one of the $15 ones. I had two $15 ones. And then the other one actually looked pretty good. I was pretty impressed with that one. And I do know D. Niman is actually having pretty good success with that one. No, I'm not. It's not just the compute. It's not the camera. Obviously, I could just like reset the camera. It's the entire computer. So I'm gonna try a couple of things. Ah, you can't see what's happening behind the scenes right now. I have tried the force. So if I force quit, the only problem is if I force quit Ecamm, I'm gone. Like you guys are, this is the end of the stream. So I wanna try a couple of things first, okay? Anybody watching, just coming in, know that this is an, test stream. It says it in there. We're all about the test. I'm just unplugging everything, plugging it back in. Oh. There we go. And my computer is actually still frozen. So we got that. Okay, so my cameras are working, the Stream Deck is working. I can't do anything. I won't be able to actually push. So like, my mouse isn't doing anything. Nothing. Okay, well, okay. Should I try the Fox Novo again? What do you guys think? Okay, give me a yes or no. Should I try the Fox Novo one more time? I got captured by capture card. Yeah, I actually won't be able to even scroll to see comments at this point. Fox Novo, how dare you? No. Yes. I vote yes. Because this is how you test tech, right? You don't, like, one thing can happen and I bet, no, please. Well, I do know that I can, I can probably get it back. Probably get it back. Okay, let's see if you can freeze in a better still. I better smile this time. Okay, hold on. We're gonna plug it back in. Let's just see what happens. All right, but I'm gonna smile pretty. Oh, okay. So this is how you know. Okay, I'm unplugging. I'm unplugging. Okay, Fox Novo out. No, come on. No. Okay, it fixed itself. Cool. Okay, so this is how you test tech, guys. This is part of this process. We have a 2 for 2 no-go on this, right? And I would personally do it 3 times. I will do it later, a 3rd time, just to see. I have 2 other capture cards plugged in, but I've had 2 other capture cards plugged in. I have this one, right? And this is now frozen. See, the Aja, okay, so because this one froze. So the Aja has frozen midstream before all by itself without any other capture cards plugged in. So that's why I'm like hesitant to recommend that these days. But yeah, so I do tend to try things like 3 times just to make sure. But honestly, even if the 3rd time worked, that's, what? Like, I don't do live math, but is that a 66% failure rate? Please tell me I'm right. Please don't make me do live math. Why didn't you just tell me what it was in the first place? where the bad cable has gone, this card should also go. This is just going to get sent back to Amazon. I'm sending the Asia back. Christopher said, too many capture cards connected at the same time can saturate the USB controller. It can, however, I don't have that problem with this Mac. I haven't had that problem with this Mac. I've had 4 or 5 different capture cards connected at the same time. This one is the only one out of this entire test so far that has had an issue. So that's going in my no-go list. I do statistics, but not live. Did I get my live math at least correct-ish? I can't scroll back up to see the comments. All right. So I'm just going to put that back in his little case here. All right. I feel sorry for the guy who gets that in the mystery boxes, which are good for a budget. Kevin, that's the question that I'm testing to come up with an answer for you for, right? So like I said at the beginning of this, I am not going to give you an answer to that in this stream. This is a testing stream. I don't hate live math. I just hate math. The thing is, I can't say, hey, this is a great capture card because it's $15, $16, and it looked good. Like, I'm not going to say that right now because I need to plug it in and I need to let it do its thing and I need to get it overwhelmed by the system and see what happens. The Magewell. So I will put them all through their paces offline and through member streams. So some of those of you who are YouTube members and Streamer Accelerator members, then you'll be able to see more of that. And I will put you know what? Because of time, I do have a meeting at 11. I'm not going to go grab the A10 Mini right now. I'm going to tease you for that, but the A10 Mini is in the house. And I will put that through its paces as well. Do this video where we side by side capture everything. So look forward to that. And I will answer the question in that video. Is it worth it to go cheap? Or do you need to spend more money? Okay. All right. Let's see. You just froze for 30 seconds. Oh, did I? I didn't notice. Really? I did? That's weird. I can't scroll. I'd have to see the comments as they're coming by. I can't, I'm scrolling. But this test, I think I went through them all. I didn't show you the cam link. But I'll show that to you in the video. I'm taking the risk live so you don't have to. That should be my tagline. Live testing is always wild, for sure. Okay, so you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I don't know that I answered all of the questions, but what I'll do for you, I promise you this, is I will actually take a look at the questions. I'll take a look back at all of the questions that came through that I didn't answer and that I answered, and I will feed all of that into, now I'm fuzzy. Really? What is happening? Fox Novo. I keep saying, oh, Novo. It's Fox Novo. Ruined my entire stream. No, I'm just joking. I will give Abby a treat for being such a good model today, for sure. Board Game Nation, thank you for sticking around for a whole first show. I would love for you to come back. We're live. Currently, our schedule is Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I would love to have you here and a part of the community. That way I can continue to help you answer those questions. And yeah. You guys are going to get so much great stuff going into March. Okay. I can't even do a dance-off, guys. I have no capability to do a dance-off. No. Okay, here's what we'll do. I know what we'll do. Okay, we're going to do a bad dance-off. Are you ready for a bad dance-off out of this stream? Thank you so much. Hopefully I can... Crap. How am I going to end the stream? No! I'm gonna have to just force quit and shut down the computer, I think. Okay, this is gonna be a really bad ending. We're gonna dance this baby out. Thank you for putting up with all of the fun tech trials and errors. That's what these testing streams are all about. And we dance this baby out. And I can't even hear it. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna have to and force quit. Oh no, no. I can't even end the. I'm gonna have to like just kill the computer. I can't even get over to. Wait, hold on. All right, I think I'm gonna leave you now.